Hello and welcome to Inside ETFs. I'm Ramzan Karmali. Today we're looking at AI ETFs with Cinthia Murphy, investment strategist at Vettafi. AI ETFs, and particularly those heavily weighted with Nvidia, got a bit of a scare at the end of last month. The AI darling saw its stock price plummet on 27th January, down almost 17%, after the Chinese firm DeepSeek said it could offer AI at a fraction of the price of its American competitors. So does this mean fund managers will need to recalibrate? And what about investors? Are AI-focused funds still worth it? Well, to help answer that and more, I'm joined by Cinthia Murphy from Vettafi. So Cinthia, what has the DeepSeek revelation taught investors and fund providers?
DeepSeek kind of confirmed what we had suspected, which is we got a little bit carried away with some of the valuations on some of these big AI stocks, like an Nvidia, for example. And, it showed us that we priced these stocks to perfection and we left no room for any kind of surprise. So DeepSeek was a big surprise and the market just tanked, especially these stocks. Because there was no room for mistake. We just expected them to be winners and without any threats. And we were proven wrong. So was that a bad day? It was, I think, a memorable day that we're going to remember for a long time. However, it just allowed these stocks to also take a moment and maybe, reset a little bit. And for a lot of folks, it was actually a buying opportunity. So it was an interesting day for sure.
Now, in your notes, you said that competition is a potential risk, but can also be a catalyst for growth. What exactly do you mean by that?
So I think just in the risk, we saw in the price performance, when you have a company that comes and threaten what we've been buying, believing this is the way this is going to be, and then a cheaper competitor comes in and says, hey, we can disrupt this for a fraction of the cost. That's a risk to leadership. That's a risk to stock price, as we saw. I think it's also a catalyst for growth because it gets these companies to reevaluate. Are they investing in the right technology? Do they even need to spend that much on certain hardware or infrastructure as opposed to something else? So I think it just opens room for a review of the business model, and that can lead to further growth ahead.
Now, you mentioned earlier that some saw this as a buying opportunity for AI ETFs. Do you think it still is?
Absolutely. If you look at as a theme, it's still just catching momentum. If in fact, if you look at AI stocks, the universe of AI stocks, there's more winners than losers right now. So the hyperscalers, the Mag 7, the mega cap ones that we've loved, Nvidia, Microsoft, all of these are actually laggards right now. But everything underneath is performing really well and strongly because AI is just beginning to take hold. So I think this is really early days, and this is just a very growth area it has a lot of opportunity.
So how do you think investors should look at the space going forward? It's not as easy as to say, let's all avoid Nvidia, is it?
No, and in fact, you don't want to avoid Nvidia. We just want to tone it down on that allocation a little bit. I think the prevailing call has been to kind of broaden your outlook, possibly go global in your exposure. So there's a lot of funds that offer that kind of access that, have companies that are healthcare AI invested or cybersecurity stocks, other parts that are not just a semiconductor story. So far, AI has been expressed as a semiconductor chip story, and I think we're ready for a lot else that goes on in this space.
Now, if you are looking for broader exposure to AI, then which funds, in your opinion, are worth it?
There are a lot of funds in this space, Ramzan, and then there's no shortcuts to that due diligence, unfortunately. But like a fund like THNQ from Robo Global, a global portfolio, index-based, it has, the biggest holding is a company like Tempus AI, which is a healthcare AI stock. It has CrowdStrike in there, Cloudflare, all these other stocks that are doing other things, all performing really well. The fund was up almost, 28, 29% in the past year. Really strong performance, global footprint. There's a lot of funds like that in this space. AIQ from Global X is another one. XAIX. The list goes on. A lot of interesting ETFs. And then you have like tangential themes that I think are really exciting. Like we talked, outside of this call today on the electrification concept. What's going to power up all these data centers? So there's an ETF for that, ZAP. Nuclear energy is another vector folks are expressing, enthusiasm over AI. So that the energy plays. So there's a lot of interesting ways to look at it.
Cinthia Murphy from Vettafi, many thanks for your thoughts. And that was your look at AI ETFs. I'm Ramzan Karmali, and this is Reuters.